Hello world. Genergy. On the ground. Look, there seems to be something significant over there.
One,
Ask there. What does he say? Hey,
me.
machine, my generator. It doesn't give me power. It doesn't give me power. It comes down with little load.
Something concerning is happening to him because that's fundamentally what's wrong with him.
Can I do it? Me, or I'll have to take him to the technical service.
Are we going to talk about this?
Of course, there are many reasons why a team is not producing energy. The power that appears in the documentation, if we focus on the Jaka, has 3300 watts. Well, here I have the 4500 Moncayo, here I have a 7500, and it may not be giving that power. Why doesn't it give that power? There are, as I say, many factors. Most of the time it always has to do with our thermal system, that is with the gasoline engine. In this case, remember that gasoline is going to be transformed into mechanical energy. That potential energy from the gasoline is transformed into mechanical energy in the engine. And that mechanical energy is produced. It is transformed into electrical current in the converter that is called an alternator, which is this part that we see in the generators. If the primary part, which would be good, let's start with the primary part. The primary is truly is gasoline. If I am putting gasoline here, I have left the tank half by half and a long time has passed. And gasoline has been delivering its octane, its potential energy in that interaction with the oxygen inside, in that breathing temperature of the cold night of the day, hot it is expelling outside, pouring out the liquid. Is it becoming low octane to obtain a lower energy potential? I can assure you that you already have less power in the plug, because the thermal is not able to withstand, depending on what important effort, the quality of the gasoline. Would that be the first? Would the first one to take into account be this? The next one? Well, having carried out the appropriate maintenance on the engine, that is the oil changes, the valve adjustments, that the equipment itself is working as we usually say. It's okay, because remember, equipment that has a clogged filter that has no air may be operating at low, that is without load. Do you hear that? Look how well it works, but when I ask him. He can breathe. It's like I have to run with my nose and mouth covered. Well, I fall, don't I? Well, this happens to him. He can work without load, but when I ask him for an effort that needs more air intake, more oxygen intake to have more power, he has no air, then he collapses. Watch out for the filters, maintenance on the air filters, okay? Unclogged. Look, here I leave you an image of a filter, okay? It's a diesel. But this filter was so stuck that the engine sucked the filter in, preparing for a breakdown that you can't even imagine. Notice how important it is to keep the filters well clean, because that is necessary, of course. Spark plugs, here we have a disassembled stock. The spark plug, the spark of the spark plug is responsible for igniting first if the spark plug is there. Well, the electrodes are already very worn out, even cut on the inside works, because there's a spark inside the ceramic and there's a spark here, but there's two sparks. The coil will be dredged to the maximum, and in the end it will not be inflaming well. We are going to notice it because the number of times I have to give it to starts badly because it ignites badly. Then once the temperature hits, look, it's setting me on fire. but I'm having fuel burn efficiency issues. We can even see exhaust pipes that are releasing unburned elements, unburned gasoline, also due to very rich mixtures in the carburetor. Now we talk about the power in the carburetor, valve adjustment. Fix these valves. They have to seal tight, perfect for when the piston goes up. In that third time when the spark is produced, this is closed and the bonding explosion occurs. If the valves don't close well, I already have a problem. I also have a problem if they don't open right, because they will not dislodge all the burned gas well, and we are going to do that in the valve adjustment. That maintenance that the control unit is going to indicate to us with the letter C, maintenance, valve adjustment, cleaning the combustion chamber, as I already explained to you, and I leave you the link here to this video, so we already have it. Another thing is what valve settings would be, what spark plugs would be in good condition to have a good ignition. Use quality oils, use the right oil rather than the right quality oil. There are times when I have met people who, because they wanted to treat their engine very well, I remember a specific case, treat their engine very well, had put an oil called Visco 5000. I can't forget, of course, it was a synthetic oil, but a synthetic oil with a density of 50 at high temperature and 5 in cold. Starting for the generator was very easy, but lubrication by splash and immersion by mist, that is, everything that there is no forced lubrication. That oil in forced lubrication is very good, but a bubbling lubrication. Turns out by getting so dense at high temperatures, it wasn't greasing and we had a problem, an actual engine failure. That's the oil. What we are putting on the label 1040301 would be ideal for winter 1040. It is ideal for the summer, but hey, nothing happens if you use the same oil because it already goes well and good. In this optimization of all the elements, we would have the maximum power in the thermal and therefore guarantee that the electrical energy that comes out here is ideal. We may also have problems with the energy supply, that is, I can have everything very well, but the gasoline that is entering me is not adequate, well, because it has a dirty carburetor where the gum is high, that is. The one who has to provide the large amount of fuel for the hard heat is decimating that contribution. That is, less gasoline is reaching me than what he needs to maintain that very important energy. Remove this screw, remove the tube and check the high gum. I also leave you because there is a video where I explain how to clean and optimize a carburetor. Okay, this is all explained and we can do it ourselves. Of course, it is possible that the carburetor is clean, that everything is fine, but remember the filter that also has inside the tank that lowers the gasoline through this tube. Yes, here. That it had to be connected to the charger. I'm not getting what I need to work. I'm having a power outage problem again. Do you realize how many things are going to influence that final power of our generator set? Well, all this that we are discussing and reviewing has been optimized. All this may still be that I am having low power. A while ago, I received a call from Avila telling me that his generator could not handle a concrete mixer, and I told him sorry that he could not handle a concrete mixer. How much is the concrete mixer? Well, the power of the group's concrete mixer was compatible, but the truth is that it couldn't. Well, I told him, look, make me a video and tell me what appears on the display. Well, 42 Hz was coming out. That told me that I had a problem with the automatic accelerator. I already explained to you in another video how that accelerator works. That accelerator that, like when you are in the car and you really need a ramp and you accelerate to go up the ramp, because that generator was not working, so we have an automatic throttle in the compensating springs. We have to verify that that's okay. How do I know my throttle is okay? Well, looking here in the second reading, it comes out with an F. And what does frequency mean? Frequency have to come out 505251 frequency. That means the 3000 laps are real and we're spinning well. I can add one more element to you, and even so, having everything fine, I may still have a problem. And the problem would now be in our alternator converter. This one is less likely. But it also happens. I may have an arousal problem. Remember that I have already explained it in other videos. I repeat, a weak magnetic field generates a weak force. That is, we need the appropriate magnetic field for depending on what power. For that, there is an exciter, that is a regulator servo that transmits. The excitation who creates the magnetic field in that rotor so that we have the power, the force that we need. If I have that exciter, I have it wrong because it is still an electronic device that can break. I'm not going to have electrical power. Having reviewed the above, this would really be the last piece that would give me that low wattage. Some of the things I have said may not be able to do ourselves. If we need technical service, there is no problem. You also don't know that Genergy has a specialized technical service in all our products. We are ourselves. So there is a phone in the same here. I see it in this generator, here in the other one, in the manual, where you can call the technical service itself. I prefer that you send an email identifying the machine, saying what is happening to me with your language. Oh, hey, what it does or stops doing or has or doesn't have, and a technician will call you to verify that this is the case, that it is not nonsense. And if it's really broken down, you have a problem, we pick that machine up at your house, we take it away. We repair it or return it in perfect condition, which is what we are for, to give quality to the machine when we manufacture it, but we also take care of them when they are working. Alright, well, we're going to leave it here. More information, Genergy is the emails of my colleagues, our phones, and this webpage that you are now viewing. It is for you to inform yourself so that you know our products, so that you make a good purchasing decision, and we are always in touch to assist you in whatever you need. Alright, well, until now it's forbidden to stop learning.